everybody. I'm going to have a chat with Nicole Whitefield, who works at Common Lees as an animal lecturer. And Nicole, if you'd like to tell us how you've been finding lockdown for yourself and for your teaching for your students.
So at the moment, I'm coping with it quite well. It was definitely a bit difficult to start off with. I think sort of trying to overcome and make lessons more engaging, and obviously with some students can't access different lessons at certain times of the day, and so that was quite difficult to overcome. But yeah, I'm really enjoying having the time to be able to sort of experiment with different online resources. Edpuzzle has become my new best friend. I'm really lucky at where I am at the moment. We've got sort of a woodland at the back of us, and we've got a bird feeder which is always full of birds, and we've got a really nice garden. So I'm sort of making use of the resources that I've got. So taking lots of videos of the bird feeder, posting them on Edpuzzle, getting the students to sort of interact and answer questions. So yeah, I'm enjoying it more now. I think I've become a lot more relaxed than what I was when it first started.
You before we started recording, you told me about the guinea pigs.
Oh, the guinea pigs. Yeah. So we've got 3 female guinea pigs at the moment, and we thought, why not try and breed them during lockdown? We've always had sort of a constant flow of guinea pigs. So we borrowed 2 of the males from Common Lees. They've come for a little holiday, breaking social distancing rules, but they're here at the moment. So I've been trying to use that to create lessons. So I teach level 2 feeding and accommodation, and I set the students a scenario to make a leaflet on how to look after a pregnant female, and sort of consider the changes that need to be made to whether it's diet or whether sort of accommodation. And to sort of get them to sort of exploring, because the issue that sort of we have at the moment is, because of the way our courses run, we teach a lot of the mandatory content before March. So at the moment we have taught everything ready for their synoptic exams, which they then start in March and April. So it's really difficult to try and teach them stuff that is new, but also to try and get them to sort of retain that previous knowledge and sort of work on that retrieval practice. So yeah, we've been getting a bit inventive, sort of what they need to be doing, which is why I set them the use my guinea pigs as a sort of to be able to sort of use them as a activity, and then get them to sort of work on it from there.
Perfect. And how are your learners reacting to all of this?
Yeah, they're reacting really well. They couldn't believe that I was breeding the guinea pigs. I think some of them said, "Is this real?" When I set the scenario, it was like, "Yes, no, it's definitely real." 2 of the guinea pigs have come from Common Lees, but they're engaging really well. I've found that it's so much easier providing I create sort of a short activity. So I'm not teaching many lessons online, because we have delivered much of the mandatory content. So it's just sort of short activities which keep them engaged, but something different. So I think some of the other activities that I've used, I was a zookeeper before now, so I'm sort of trying to sort of tap into that and get them to sort of thinking about industry work, because I know a lot of our students, this might be their last year, and they might not be coming back to us, to sort of thinking about how what they need to do to prepare for industry, or what it's like in industry, and giving them sort of tasks to relate to that. So yeah, at the moment they're all really enjoying it, but it's interesting because I was saying before that a lot of the work that we get in is coming in at maybe like 9 o'clock in the evening, or maybe like 8:30 in the morning, or I'm getting it at the times when the lessons usually would be. So it's really interesting to see how sort of different and at the different times when the work comes in. But yeah, so far so good.
Lovely. So one last question. What advice would you give to yourself if you could go back to the start of lockdown? How might you have approached it differently, perhaps?
So it panicked me a lot, I think, at the start. I was really eager to make sure that all the lessons were out for exactly the time that I would have been teaching that lesson, even if it was the activity. And it's taken me, I would say, about 4 weeks it took me to really realise that actually time is so very different now. There's so much of it. And even though the students are sort of doing work and completing it, I don't need to be rushing stuff to get it out maybe for 10 o'clock in the morning where their lesson was going to start. But if I spend a bit longer providing I get it out that day, don't panic, sort of be kind to myself as well, and just then sort of, yeah, don't panic, be flexible, because I think students at the moment are having to be flexible too, and I think everyone is obviously having to be very flexible and just keep things short and sort of keep them engaged. So yeah, don't panic, which I do a lot, and be flexible. Yeah, sort of measure different expectations a bit differently as well. Know that students aren't going to be all attending the one session that I've done, or that maybe they weren't able to sort of submit work straight away, or because they might have internet problems, which I think a lot of people are also having. Yeah, computers can't take it. So yeah.
Okay,